coming right there.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tactical Rifleman. We haven't done a live stream here on this channel in a while, but so we had some problems with our TR Live, our sister channel, so we're gonna do one here tonight. Using a different camera, few other different things. My son's not here to moderate everything, so you guys let me know if you can hear me okay. All right, I think you guys can hear me okay, but just let me know if you guys can hear me all right. I'm looking at security cameras and I see Steve Holland has just rolled in, so we're gonna have Steve here tonight. We've got our usual sponsor, Venture Surplus. All right, I appreciate them sponsoring us, Venture Surplus. Go to venturesurplus.com. Their motto, Venture Surplus, brings the Army Surplus store to your door. So you don't have to like drive to Fort Bragg to hit the pawn shops on the Army Surplus store to get all your cool military gear. You can go to venturesurplus.com. They got free returns, free shipping, all that stuff. Good stuff indeed. Again, you can check them out at venturesurplus.com. All right, I'm a big fan of their stuff. All right, guys, I know y'all have been busy, hopefully as busy as I've been. All right, I just wrapped up this past weekend. We got home from Normandy, France. We went over there for the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Home for a couple of days. We did last week's live stream at TR Live, and then 2 days later, I'm on another plane going to Wichita, Kansas, so I could teach a private class there. I had a great time. Good food, some of the best Italian food I've ever had. I got in Wichita, Kansas. Isn't that crazy? Anyways, I'm hoping I think you guys can hear me okay. All right, everybody's saying 5 by. All right, so I'm going to assume that's good. Sounds good for tonight. Here's how this works. Live streams. Your whole point of the live stream is for me and Steve, when he gets here, to interact with you guys one-on-one, or one on 83, as that's what we have right now sitting here. So take your questions. You can put them in the chat. Do a super chat if you want, or at least just put your questions in the chat room. I've got 3 moderators out there. I want to thank my moderators for all their hard work. If you're a troll, you want to troll our live stream tonight, that's fine. I understand you're still living in your mom's basement and all, but anyways, understand my moderators will put you in timeout one time, and after that, whoop, you're gone forever. Maybe not forever. I went and checked. Wildflower is no longer blocked here. I'll check over the other channel tomorrow. I thought I unblocked her a couple weeks ago. Maybe Wildflowers doesn't want to be unblocked. I don't know. But it's case-by-case basis. But anyways, we don't need any trolls here tonight. Got a bunch of great stuff to talk to you all about, though. First off, my low light, no light shooting class. That's night vision, basically. And we do some work with pistol and rifle lights, but for the most part, it is shooting pistol with night vision. We use PVS 14s over one eye, then over the other eye, so you see disadvantages, pros and cons, and advantages of each. And then we do same thing with rifle. We talk about different types of night vision, your digital, your thermals, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 3 Plus, I-squares, Ghost White Phosphor versus your regular greens, your auto-gated versus non-auto-gated. Anyways, we get into it pretty deep. It's a 2-day course because there's a lot to teach. We do it at the Louisville Armory because it's too hot to shoot outside. All right, and it doesn't get dark till almost 10:30 at night. So you show up there, and we're guns hot at 8 in the morning, and then we go till we're done in the afternoon. Need lights? Turn the lights on. It's indoor range, guys. Indoor range. It's also got a small indoor shoot house there, which we get into. I provide the UTM bolts and the UTM ammo. You just pay for the ammo that you use. It's a good class. Anyways, I've still got a few slots left for it. I like to see that class sell out. Here's why. It's a small class to begin with, but also I've gotten with AGM Global Vision, and I got them to give me, for the purposes of this course, they sponsored the course with brand new PVS 14s. All right, that's the complete complete green bag with all the head harness, everything. And the cool part is they're getting them to me at basically their cheapest dealer cost. And then at the end of the course, I give you guys the option to buy them. You buy them at a greatly discounted price, and then if you don't want them, no big deal. You got a chance to use brand new night vision, and at the end of the course, I send them back to AGM Global Vision, and they're just happy to support the course. Last year, I think we sold 12 sets and a set of binos. I had a student that I said, hey, Carl, I want to get a set of binos. I forgot what they were, AVS 6s or something like that. Anyways, he knew what he wanted. I'm like, cool. And I got him the discounted price for him. He got the train with it before you buy it. Is that not cool? So anyways, I've got the box. It's sitting right over there. If you guys want to see one of the PVS 14s, I'll pull it out for you later. But anyways, I just want to let you guys know there's still a couple slots for that class open. You can sign up at tacticalrifleman.com. You can go to the schedule and just click on, it's in July, late July. And then, or you can just go to our store. When you go to store, you'll see, our t-shirts and merchandise, and then our courses. Click on courses, scroll down to the one that's got a picture of low light, no light shooting, and from there you can get the course specifics and stuff. But anyways, it's a good deal. I don't do this course to make money off the night vision. I do the course because I enjoy teaching, but my big thing is I understand for a lot of people it's a big jump to buy your own night vision. It really is. So this course, it's a chance for you to use brand new night vision, and at the end of it, you're like, Carl, I really want to go home with this thing. This has been badass. Cool. You take it. Write me a check on the spot. Do it PayPal. Pay me cash. It doesn't matter. Either way, I've got to pay taxes on it. That is good coffee right there, guys. Man, that is some good coffee. I don't know if you guys can see how thick that stuff is because I've already knocked half of it out. But you start with 8 shots of espresso. I like a good dark roast, and grind the beans right before you use the espresso machine, and then you froth I like Italian sweet cream instead of just using milk. It's a little bit thicker, and I like coffee you can chew, guys. That is some good coffee right there. Anyway, so I've been busy. I have been busy. We got a few other courses coming up September and stuff, but low light, no light shooting in July. That is my big class for this summer. Only 2 days long. So, Carl, you're sitting on your ass the rest of the summer. No, I'm not. Actually, we've got a bunch of great videos coming up this summer. Let me rephrase that. We're going to be filming a bunch of great videos coming up this summer. As quick as they'll come out, I don't know, we'll see. For example, this Friday's video is, like I mentioned, we just got back from Normandy, France. That was the 80th anniversary of the D-Day invasion. That's a big deal, guys. A lot of people, the modern generation, they don't realize how important World War II was. You realize in 10 years, we went from biplanes to jet engine fighters in a 10-year period. That's how much technology improved. But it was a war, it was a global war that involved the entire planet. You understand there were submarine bases in Antarctica. Yeah, I want that to sink in. It literally was the entire globe. And we call it the greatest generation because the people of America was not a superpower at the time. We were not. But the people of America, when their president said, look, we got to do this. We have to do this. The people at corporate America that owned all the companies, they retooled everything and said, we're not making cars now, we're not making sewing machines, we're going to make tanks and airplanes and guns. You realize there was a time where 1911s were actually made by Singer sewing machine, all right, because the Colt factory couldn't turn them out fast enough. There's a lot of other guns that were made by all these other factories. The women were filling the factories, men were filling the factories. Everybody thinks all the men went off the war. That is not the case. There's a lot of people that stayed home, but you understand not everybody is cut out to go to war. They're just not. It's even worse right now. I hear, I guess it came out in the news today that Biden has opened up the selective services, in case there's a draft, right? You turn 18, you got to sign up for selective services. He's opened it up for women now also, and everybody, they're all flipping out. You only go through your 26, guys, you're fine. But you realize a lot of the people that are these, your college kids and everything, they're all worried about, what? I don't want to get drafted. Look at yourself in the mirror. Most of the current generation, they don't even know what their pronouns are, let alone anything else. They're all too fat to serve in the military. They don't have to worry about it. They really don't have to worry about it. So anyways, no big deal. No big deal. I see I had Steve coming down the stairs. I literally have got cameras, got the place wired for sound, guys. He'll come in, he'll have to hit the head, he'll go hit the bar. There's a couple cameras over there too, not in the bathroom. So Steve will be here in a couple of minutes. We'll be able to visit with Steve. So anyways, again, I got classes, big bunch of classes in September. Pistol Carbine, Carbine Zero Mastery, Advanced Pistol Carbine, Battle Rifle 1, Gun Runner Pistol. We've got a TCCC medical class. It's a big block of classes in September. That's late September. And then for my patrons out there, don't forget our Patreon only course. That's 4 days long. That is going to be in Eastern Kentucky at General Butler State Park. And again, you can sign up for all these classes, guys, at tacticalrifleman.com. I mentioned some of the videos we're going to be filming this summer, and we got a bunch. We do have a bunch indeed. Do I give you a sneak peek on some of them? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not. All right, I got a question here from Havoc 442000. What coffee are you drinking tonight, Carl? I'm trying to see if I got his little thing of coffee beans here. But you guys have seen me mention it before. It's Five Stone Frontline. I think that's what it's called. Let me see. I might have them down here in my notes. Five Stone Frontline Coffee. Five Stone. If you go to Five Stone, just put in Five Stone Coffee and Google it. He's good people, man. He's taken a bunch of our classes, and he's good people. And he does a lot of mission trips out there trying to make the world a better place. And anyway, full disclosure, I don't make a dime off of your coffee. I like good coffee though, and the boy makes good coffee. He really, really makes good coffee. Yeah, crazy good coffee. But I hit him up for a promo code TR10. Every once in a while, he'll send me a 5-pound bag. They last. 5 pounds does not last very long when we do coffee in the morning here on the hill. This morning I had Jamie Gap. His dad came all the way in from the city of Hopkinsville. Everybody knows Dr. Gap. He's delivered 3/4 of the babies in Hopkinsville and Fort Campbell area. Funny stuff indeed. But yeah, we burned through some coffee beans here. Other coffee beans, good stuff. I actually roasted some of my own coffees while I was visiting another client down in Texas. I won't throw his name out there, but he owns his own ranch. But he also, on his ranch, he's got his own country bar. and not joking. But he has a back room of the bar, and you look through the glass wall, and there's this huge copper machine. Literally, most of it's made out of polished copper. And you look at it, it's a German-made espresso machine, not espresso machine, coffee bean roaster. And it does, I want to say 20 pounds of coffee beans at a pop. And we get down there like the exact temperature and stopwatch and everything to make the beans perfect. And I'm here to tell you, they were good. I'm out of them. I brought back, I want to say, he gave me 10 pounds out of the 20 that we roasted. I gave Kevin Jimerson a couple pounds, and then I kept the rest. And Kevin was my assistant instructor. Kevin's good people. But yeah, those beans, they're in the coffee bean holder in the kitchen, but anyway, there's not very many of them left. Not at all. Good stuff. I saw I had a couple more questions come in here. All right. Sorry, guys, I don't mean to fall behind on your questions. Sometimes I ramble a little bit. Dino Dinosaur, Carl, did you own TR-101 rifle arrive? What he's talking about, guys, is the coveted TR-1A1 rifle. It has been finalized. I just got it in. I haven't even put an optic on it yet. Full disclosure, hello Steve, how you doing? It is going to be, because I wanted to go with a piston this time. You're going to go with a piston. There's only a couple good piston companies out there. And that's the truth. And for me, it was a no-brainer. I went with Adams Arms. They make some of the best, hands down, best pistons out there. And that's all they do is pistons. So anyways, I've been going back and forth with these guys for over a year. Not their fault, my fault, because I wanted this thing perfect. So I wanted certain sights, I wanted certain stock, certain handguard. I need this change, I need this longer. Hey, we talked about this. I need a fully ambi lower. And if you go to Adams Arms website, you'll see they didn't offer an ambi AR-15. They had an ambi AR-10 that you could get 308, 65, stuff like that, but they did not have a fully ambi AR-15. Now they do. All right. I prodded them with a stick enough, and anyways, it's of course I had them Cerakote it flat dark earth, which is a color that Steve Holland actually brought into the military, by the way, and it's got my dry fire trigger in it, so you can dry fire with it. It's fully ambi. Adjustable gas block. I mentioned it's a piston. It's already set up to take a surefire suppressor. It is legal 16-inch, but it's got a 13.7-inch barrel with the pinned surefire war comp on it. And it's a 3-prong flash hider, basically. And it's one of the best flash hiders out there. And it works badass. And anyways, I'm very, very happy with how it turned out. They are making a special hand stop for it that I went through all the ones on the internet. There wasn't one I liked. I was like, I like the one that I have on my TR1, but we're not going back to Tactical Edge to get it from them. So I'm like, I had that Tactical Edge modify theirs for me. Adams Arms, I want you to modify yours for me. Make it my way, our way. So anyways, guys, I've got a couple other things coming up, 4th of July, right? You know, that's always a big thing here. But after that, we're going to start filming again. And one of the videos you're going to see me filming is after I get a few hundred rounds through it and I go, you know, hey, it's ready. This thing is ready for prime time. Once they say that they've got enough parts in, we'll release the video and you guys can start ordering them. We're not doing this prepay, then get your gun thing, right? Because you understand there are still guys that have not gotten their TR1 rifle from Tactical Edge. And if it was up to me, Bobby would be dropped in a wood chipper. You don't do customers like that, guys. That's wrong. There's not a single gun company out there that's done customers like that. They just don't do it. All right, a couple more questions come in. James Edwards, what is your take on recruiting and retention? Here's the problem, guys, is right now the military, you just look at who Biden put in for the heads of all of his different branches, right? He's got some pole-smoking faggot that wears a dress and tries to tell people that he's a female in charge of, is he in charge of the army or like everything?
Kind of everything.
Kind of everything. And the guy don't even know what his pronouns are. He really doesn't. And you understand that's wrong. That's wrong. That's putting people in because you're trying to force your beliefs on someone else. All right? And that's not what the military is supposed to be about. It doesn't matter your color, your religion, your political anything. It does not matter in the military. It's not supposed to matter in the military. You understand the military is supposed to, everybody in the military is supposed to be green. Everybody in the military is supposed to fight, right? That's the job of the military, to fight. But unfortunately, they're pushing this stuff to, they don't want good war fighters. They want good meat puppets. And it's hurting the military bad. It's hurting retention bad. A lot of your real war fighters are getting out of the military. Don't freak out about it, guys, okay? Because if you look after every major conflict, what politicians do is they cut the budget for the military after every war. You ask Rick Lamb, we've had him do a bunch of videos on the different uniforms and equipment of the military, the U.S. military, through every conflict, because he's a big collector of military uniforms, and he's got going back to the Spanish-American War. And I like the way he worded it, is he said, when we get into a new conflict, America always takes a punch to the face. And World War II is a great example. Look at a picture of our military troops in World War II. Look at their uniforms. They're wearing wool slacks with seams, no pockets on the pants. And that's because they were, prior to World War II, they were pushed to have more of a dress uniform. You get the airborne guys, hey, we need more pockets, and they just started sewing pockets everywhere. But for the most part, the conventional military were in what we would consider like a Class B uniform, a tie, and they took beginning of World War II was rough for us. That's how it is, guys. That's how it is. But by the end of World War II, we were the best that there were. They immediately dialed us back. Same thing, Korea. We went to Korea and we took a punch to the face. Same thing, Vietnam. Just prior to Vietnam, they're back to white name tapes. White name tapes on the uniforms. That's right, because to give the enemy something to aim at. It's just, it is what it is. So for all my vets out there that have gotten out, all my old timers, we're all bitching, the military, they're destroying my military, I got it. I'm right there with you, but understand America will always be the greatest country, and the whole world is going down a slippery slope right now. And 20 years from now, when we hit rock bottom, because it's a 40-year cycle, all right? Some people will say 80-year cycle, but it's basically a 40-year cycle. One direction, all right? The slippery slope, we're going to go down. There are hard times for your grandkids, really hard times for your grandkids. But on the brighter note, in your grandkids' life, they're going to see America, and specifically North America, come back again to be the last one standing in the world. So, but it's going to suck for your kids. It really is. It's going to suck. Part of because what the politicians are doing to our military right now. Recruiting and retention sucks. It does, because of what they're doing in the military. David Bobine, he threw down $50, guys, for the Normandy Excess Baggage Fund. I appreciate it, guys. For those of you that didn't hear, I brought 8 people. I brought 7 people over to Normandy. I had one more person, Jan Meadus, over there. And I had to fly with 12 suitcases because I can't put a SF-10 parachute and a reserve parachute in the same suitcase. It's over 50 pounds. It's 51 pounds. How you doing, Steve?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Good. You doing good? Doing good? Come on in.
TR Nation, what's going on, people?
You guys missed Steve. I know you did.
Yeah, I miss you guys also.
So anyway, we spent a lot of money on excess baggage and yeah, crazy money, plane tickets. I don't want to vent on you guys, but basically they left one of my parachute suitcases in France. In their defense, they had it back to my house within 48 hours. Flights and customs, and we ended up missing a connecting flight because of customs, and then they wanted us to spend the night in Atlanta. I can't spend the night in Atlanta because I've got 3 people that have got to be at work tomorrow. So we ended up walking downstairs and getting rentals. We had to get 2 rental Suburbans to haul everything, and it was a lot of unforecasted expenses. So I really do appreciate David and the other people that have pitched in a little bit of extra money to help with this trip. I will be paying this trip. I know everybody thinks Carl's got deep pockets. I will be paying for this trip for a year, for over a year. I don't know how I'm going to pay this thing off. Really don't. Michael Johnson, question: what is the practical distance you can determine if a target is a threat or if it warrants deadly force? All right. One, and again, situation's going to dictate, but understand, number one, how good are your eyes, number one. What I mean by that is you don't need a 3x magnifier on your AR behind your EOTech to shoot a target at 500 meters. You don't. I used to have to shoot iron sights on my M21 sniper rifle out to 1,000 yards. Iron sights, you can shoot 1,000 yards. All right. Where the 3x magnifier comes in handy behind your EOTech is it allows you to see the target better and identify, is it a threat, is it not a threat, is it a threat that actually warrants deadly force. Now, I will say that legally, it is very, very, like lawyers will tell you, you take a 50-meter shot across a parking lot with your pistol, it's hard they'll tell you, well, you can't justify that as being a threat if he was 50 yards away and you were hiding behind a car. That won't hold up in court. You're not there. You understand, a lawyer can't say that right now. He can't, because you're not in that situation yet. If you are there and the guy is slugging away at you with a full auto 308 with armor piercing ammo and it's eating up the car that you're there, yeah, the judge and the jury are going to agree with you that that's a threat that warrants deadly force. So you see what I'm getting at? There's a lot of armchair lawyers in the comment section on our videos, but there are a lot of lawyers out there that will put these things out there. Well, that's if you have a chance to flee, then he's not actually a threat to you. Okay, but there are also stand your ground laws that are out there. And my whole thing, guys, is I can't tell you in a video, a live stream video, without knowing the situation, at what distance you can ID something to be a threat that actually warrants deadly force. But I just talked for 2 minutes about it because I want you to understand it's not a 35 meters. It's not a short answer. It's really not. You need to know all the different variables. So I threw out, well, long distance in the parking lot. I threw out the lawyer aspect. I threw out the hold your ground aspect. I throw out the using the magnifier to see the target better. I throw that all out there because I want to stimulate that mind for you guys to take his question. And it may have been something that you've never thought about before, but it's true, is it not? That you need to have thought at least a little bit about this ahead of time. If you've made the decision that you're gonna carry a firearm for personal self-defense, then you need to make the decision to do it responsibly, but you also need to make the decision to train. And part of training is not just doing pew-pew on the range. Part of training is making sure that you know your local laws, making sure that you think through these different scenarios and stuff. All right, good question, guys. We had one more come in. I'm going to see if this one's for Steve. The Gustash 2531, man, his mom had a shit ton of kids. Sir, I believe in keeping my Glock stock, but a few friends upgraded with a tungsten rod and have seen a positive result in follow-up shots. Your thought? All right, what are they doing with a tungsten rod?
Guide rod.
Tungsten guide rod. What are they doing with it? They're just doing it to add more weight to the front of the gun, right? I have never, ever, not one time, never seen a Glock guide rod break, number one. Number two, the guys that shoot competitively, they add weights all over their guns. There are guys that will put compensators on their guns to help them manage recoil. There were guys that will shoot reduced recoil ammo to make those follow-up shots faster. All right, but for me, just like you mentioned, you like to keep your Glocks stocked. Because you understand, every time you change something on a Glock, you're taking the Glock out of it. And what I mean by that is, I know guys that swap everything out and they put their compensators and their light triggers and this, that, and the other. And I've seen guys put a titanium firing pin because the lighter firing pin moves faster.
Are we talking
really
1 millionth of a second, 2 millionths of a second?
You understand? You're not outrunning the trigger in a Glock. You're not outrunning the firing pin. So that's just somebody that wants to put something new and he wants something to throw money at. Okay, go get a Jeep. If you want something to throw money at, go get a Jeep. So me, I'll tell you, I swapped the sights on all my Glocks. I put good tritium sights on them. You guys know I like the Trijicon HDs. If it's my gun, my personals, and I'm not just using it in a class, I will put a red dot, an enclosed red dot on it. But the only other thing I change, and I put a flashlight, but the only other thing I change is all of my pistols have the same 3.5 pound connector in it. All right. Other than that, and I try every once in a while. You'll see me trying. I spent a year running the new FBI trigger because FBI came out with a new trigger for their Glocks, and I'm here to tell you it's probably the smoothest 12-pound trigger that's out there.
Yeah.
But it's not a good trigger. It's not. I don't know what their gripe was with a stock trigger, but to me, I think it's, the FBI's got all these gunsmiths sitting there, and they're like, are all of our Glocks run?
So basically what they were doing was there were so many complaints from administrators and law enforcement that the Glock didn't have an external safety. And everybody tried to say it has an external safety, but it's on the trigger.
It's on the trigger.
They're like, well, so they went to a heavier trigger with the intent of, say, a rookie gets in their first altercation where there's going to be, a two-way range.
He should not have his finger on the trigger, but you're right.
He's not running his finger straight, and he touches that trigger, not realizing that in that moment of stress, his normal, 3 to 4 pound trigger pull weight. It just went to like 4 ounces because his butthole is like tightening up. So they said we're going to a heavier trigger.
That's actually called the New York trigger, guys. If you want to look up, and you can buy them. You can buy, it's a green drop-in. It's called the New York trigger. And I've seen some smooth New York triggers, but this FBI one is not it. It's not. So again, all I swap are the 3.5 pound connectors. You want to run a tungsten guide rod, dude, go for it. You guys remember we had, it was called the Bad Rod. It was a replacement guide rod that actually came out the front of your pistol, and it was a point.
It was a spike.
It was a spike. And understand, if your gun, like Emery says, if you run out of ammo and you're a foot from the bad guy, Emery's not going to a speed reload. He's going to a punch to the face with the inanimate object in his hand. Okay, but that's how Emery trains. My thing is, you come into a room, there may be a threat there, but a threat that doesn't warrant deadly force. You have a firearm in your hand, you can't go back to the holster with it. It's in your hand. So if you've never fought with a firearm, you understand the military actually has courses where you don't fire a single round. All you do is strike. So it's basically, they do it in a dojo. And you do it with rubber ducks. We call them rubber ducks. It's an M4, your sling, everything, and rubber pistols. But the whole course is built around non-lethal strikes with firearms. And one of the drills they do is called the hood. And basically they have a silk hood. They got a pulley on the ceiling. And they bring the hood down over your head, and there's 1 to 3 guys there in red man suits, and they are moving all around you. You can't move, you can't react until the hood comes off your head. When that hood comes off your head, they may be pointing a gun at you. They may be getting ready to muzzle, butt stroke you in the head. That fist may already be coming. You just don't. They may all 3 be behind you, and I'm here to tell you it's good training, and that's the way I look at it, guys. It's another thing to keep in your bag of tricks, right? So
one of the programs that we worked on, I want to say it wasn't a Mark 12, because on the Mark 12 SPR we were running the Ops Inc. muzzle brake.
yeah.
It was on the first 6.8 project where we were doing transition over to the Surefire suppressors.
Yeah.
So Barry Duke at Surefire, he's now the vice president of the Surefire suppressor division. Barry, of course, started from the bottom. Now he's at the top.
Yeah.
And I had Barry make me some muzzle brakes that they were single chamber muzzle brakes. But right out of the front end, they had dragon's teeth.
Nice.
Similar to what you're talking about, the opera with the spike.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, about 2 months after we had trained, guys had trained up in that part of the unit had deployed into Iraq, the S3 calls me up. He said, hey, the 5th Group Jag wants to talk to you. And I said, okay. I'm on my way over there. He said, oh, no. He's in the Siege of Sof AP. So here is his time. 8 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm sitting in the S3 in the skiff. And the phone rang. And I answer the phone. He goes, hey, Smash Sergeant Holland? I go, yeah. Hey, yeah, this is Major, blah, blah, blah. I say, hey, sir, how you doing? Blah, 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 He goes, hey, we got a problem. And I was like, why the fuck is this guy calling me from overseas talking about we got a problem?
Yeah.
I said, okay. And he goes, we've had some situations where some of the indigenous people over here are filing complaints with the United Nations Legal Human Rights Office about, the guys using some of the equipment you gave them. And I was like, what? He said, hey, I'm going to send you some pictures. You know, so I asked the guy in the skiff. I said, "Hey, how do I make this thing show pictures?"
Yeah.
And the guy gets to each other. And I see these pictures of these guys in different positions, and you know, flexi cuffs on and everything
Yeah.
else. And then they got like all their stuff pulled off,
Yeah.
and there's these little circular marks, like a lamprey eel, had like stuck on them, started sucking the blood away. And I was like, okay. He goes, those things that you gave those guys to put on the end of their guns, that's what this is doing. I was like, nice. That's what it's supposed to do. And he goes, well, we got to do something. We can't use these anymore. And I was like, I don't understand. They can shoot the guy, but they can't muzzle thump him with the dragon's teeth. He goes, well, it's not the guys that are shooting the bad guys. When they run away, their family members jump in front of our guys so they can't catch them. So the guys are like, as soon as you tap them, all you gotta do is twist. I mean, a half an inch, and that thing grabs. And they're like, I need you to go this way. I need you to go that way.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
That's very,
one
very cool.
was a woman, and it was right off the left titty. You know, it's like whap, turn, go down, ma'am, stay down, stay down, stay down. Now extract.
That's
And
awesome.
I could not believe, because we thought, what a great idea, what a super great idea. It didn't last 2 months in combat. It didn't last 2 months. So yes, there are times in combat where, you know, no matter what you see on all the movies, and I love myself some John Wayne and all this other thing, and the movie The Green Beret, where the Montagnards, they sneak up on the VC up in their little tree blind, and they get the little crossbow and go, and the guy goes, ah, and falls down. I said, no, it don't work like that. So they basically said, no, we're not going to allow you guys to use that because it goes against the blah, blah, blah. I said, sir, we're hitting guys at 1,500 meters with Rolf's Mark 211. You know? Have you seen the exits with that ammo? He's like, well, you know, but I said, roger that. I said, you're over there, I'm over here. You're the Jag. Your call. I won't sit anymore. But other than that, you know, I don't have the means to reach out to a team
and take
in
them back.
a team house.
Say, take your stuff off.
Hey, give me the phone number to the guys over in Fallujah. Bam, 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 bam. Hello? Hey, Steve Holler. Bam, bam. What's up, Steve? Hey, I'm back here for Camel having some coffee. And how you doing? Man, we're kind of under fire right now. Hey, I need you to get a wrench and take that muzzle brake off your gun, you know. So
Funny stuff.
yeah. But it does at some point, stuff like that does come in handy.
Yeah. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Javier. So I went and did this range day Saturday. We're out there shooting. We had 22 long rifles. You would love this day. We're getting out like 100 meters. We had these deck of playing cards with the ace of spades.
Right.
And whoever got the closest to the middle of it got $300. And it was kind of cool. Anyways, I want to give a shout out to Javier. He was Javier. He just did.
You could tell he's telling me now. Because as soon as he said, whoever hits the center of the ace of spades gets $300, he tells me after the fact. You know what that means, right? He said, hey man, don't call Steve Holland. He loves himself some Agustin 22.
Yeah. Anyway, Javier just wrapped up a long tour in Djibouti, Africa. He was he'd been activated with the National Guard and big long deployment over there. But he's back now, back to being regular National Guard, which is just one like weekend every month, and then they do their little summer camp and everything. But anyways, I just wanted to give Javier a shout out. He helped me out at the range a lot. And shot really, really well out there. And I want to say, Javier, thank you for your service. And thank you for helping me out at the range. Good stuff indeed. Guys, I mentioned that Tier 1 rifle, and man, I wish I could show it to y'all right now. But understand it's coming. I'm not going to film it till after the 4th of July, because that's only 2 weeks away. But I've got so much to get caught up on, editing videos and everything, getting stuff ready for our next bunch of videos I got to film. So we got a bunch of stuff, and I do have a bunch of great new stuff coming for tactical riflemen, and not just videos, right? You guys seen my med kits, right? You hear me talk about them from time to time. It's vacuum sealed, guys, and this is the advanced one, advanced EDC everyday carry kit from Tactical Rifleman. You see, it's got hyphen chest seals. The advanced kit's got quick clot gauze in it. It's got 100 inches of tape. Anyways, it's a good kit. I vacuum sealed them because when I pulled the med kit out from under the seat of my Jeep, everything was moldy in it because my Jeep has been underwater up to halfway up the steering wheel. I enjoy my Jeep. So your gear is going to last better. It's pre-cut, so it'll tear open, but you understand you can put this in your carry-on bag for TSA. All my family had these when we went overseas. In my carry-on bag, in your med kit on the back of your gun belt, under the seat of your Jeep, in your daughter's book bag for school, wherever. The tourniquet's not in here. The tourniquets I sell are separate. I use the Cat 7 tourniquets. All my stuff is made from, I get it actually packaged by North American Rescue. There's no counterfeits here at all. Cannot stand counterfeit stuff, let alone counterfeit medical stuff. So anyways, I'm throwing it out there. The basic kit has gauze in it, but not quick clot gauze. The advanced kit, which is $30 more because quick clot gauze is expensive, they're going to go up for sale. We're going to add them to the Tactical Rifleman website. You're going to be able to go to the store, where before I used to just sell these at medical classes and at like my Patreon class. Or if you send me an email, I'd probably send you one. But now we're going to add it to the website because I've had a bunch of people asking me about them again. The other things we're going to start selling are the Tactical Rifleman patches, but also the stickers. And I said that wrong. The stickers, not stickers, the patches, like you see on my hat all the time, and the stickers, we're going to add them to the website. But we're also, if you go to tacticalrifleman.com, you'll see that we've got a whole page you can click on for merchandise, which is it's done by a company called Spreadshirt. So if you want t-shirts and sweatshirts and long sleeve shirts and yoga pants and coffee cups and stuff like that with the TR logo, you go to them. I make a small commission off of it, but you're basically buying it from them. Here's why I did that, because one, I didn't want to mess with it. I really didn't want to. I could care less about it. I get my t-shirts for classes done locally, so if there's no reason for me to carry a warehouse full of all this stuff for filling orders. Okay, so you can still get Tactical Rifleman t-shirts and sweatshirts and yoga pants and stuff like that at Spreadshirt. You go tacticalrifleman.com, click on that. But one of the other things we are going to start doing is, for example, you can't get this t-shirt from tacticalrifleman.com. You can't, because this is a special batch of t-shirts made specifically for my instructors. But I've had a lot of you asking, hey Carl, we want the Dane Bramage shirt, or we want the
night vision shirt.
The night vision shirt, or the one with the logo, two to the chest, one to the head, whatever, are novelty shirts. So my reason for saying that is what we're going to start doing is every month or so, we're going to come up with a new t-shirt just for Tactical Rifleman. It'll be a limited edition, and it'll be something cool. It might be a picture of Steve with sunglasses on. I don't know, but we're going to come up with a limited number of t-shirts, and we'll say, hey, this is how many we're going to do. And anyways, we'll take the orders, we'll print them, and we'll get them out. Now, to do that, you understand it requires a lot of back behind the scenes work here. So, anyways, I've got a young lady and a young man who have said that they're like, when the orders come in, forward them to us, and we'll package them and get them out. I'm like, Roger that, because I like your idea. I don't have time to do it. So anyways, I hope you're as excited about it as I am, because me and Emery, Byron Russell, Steve, Randy, we've been coming up with great ideas for t-shirts. We've got one, meth. It keeps them skinny. You understand, I can't put that on a TR t-shirt. That's awesome, but I can't put it on a TR t-shirt, at least not the first one. So anyways, we're going to come up with cool t-shirts.
So what's that new trend they got with the thing? They take the shot, but it was made for something else. You know what I'm talking about. Ozempic. Ozempic.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But now all the people use it to lose weight.
To lose weight, yeah.
So now we can have like meth. Anyway, I digress.
No, if it'll help them lose weight, I'm all about it.
Well, let me back up a minute. You mentioned flat dark Earth.
Yeah, elaborate on that, Steve, because a lot of people, they don't realize how awesome you are. They really don't realize it.
Well, the thing about flat dark Earth, TR Nation, tell you a short story. No, what is it? No one person is an island or some shit like that. But flat dark Earth came about by an observation by myself doing one of the SOPMOD user assessments. I forget. Oh, we were working on the new SOPMOD. I think it was Block 1, the night site for SOPMOD Block 1. So we were out at the range. I think it was in North Carolina, and of course all the SOPMOD users from all the soft services. So you got the SEALs, you got Rangers, Army Special Forces, TACPs, that whole thing, and we had the green silhouette targets on popsicle sticks. Yep. So to differentiate, we had the green, OD green. So every other one we were flipping around backwards.
Which is brown on the back.
It's brown on the back. So right before we started shooting, a couple of guys in some of the shooting lanes were complaining they couldn't see their target. I said, dude, this is night fire. Night vision, night fire, an assessment.
Yeah.
It's hard to see at night, even with good night sight. He said, no, I can't see target. So I picked this gun up, and I looked down range. I said, fuck, I can't see his target. So I called a ceasefire. I walked down, and I said, they're here. I thought it fell down.
Yeah.
So we had to mark the targets with black paint, 2, 4, 6, 8.
Yeah.
And me and Marty Barreras, God bless his soul, we were talking about that night over a beer. I said, Marty, brown cardboard, you can't see it through NVGs. Gen 1, Gen 2, it didn't matter. And so when I got back to 5th group, doing my after action assessment, I wrote that in there. I said, we need to look into why these sites can't see brown. Yeah. And my good friend, my brother, who just passed away, God bless him and his family, Lieutenant Colonel retired Lucius Gus Taylor, or as we call him, Luscious. And so Luscious called me up. He goes, hey man, I'm going through these after action reports. He says, so what are you talking about with this brown thing? I said, Gus, I went back and I had some guys do some stuff out behind the sniper locker. Yeah. And we got all the different night vision, which was top end back then, and all these different shades of brown. And we started calling it coyote brown. Yeah. And I said, you can't see this with night vision. And that was the nucleus of flat dark Earth.
Flat dark Earth.
Because remember
coyote brown.
And
that's what it was originally called. Yep.
Gus Taylor. So I talked to Gus. I said, Gus, let's take whatever's in SOPMOD and the Mark 12 program, and let's mimic this color. So Gus, being the wizard that he is, and I can go into more, but Gus was a master of the system. Yeah. Before Gus, anything that we set up to train was, oh, you got something new? Can you get funding for us? Well, let's go talk to Reed Knight. You know, that was it. You know, anything you came up with became
Had to go
a
to
nice,
Vietnam.
had to be a nice armament. And Gus was our advocate. Gus was our go-to guy. Gus was our ride or die. And Gus said, "I tell you what we'll do. We have to come up with." I didn't even know that colors. They have color codes at the time. Gus said, "He said, Steve, we have to identify a color, not the backside of a target, not stuff like that." He said it's called Pantone coloring system. I remember to this day. And we got with, I can't remember the name of the company, but they were the top company at the time that coded weapon system. Joe Fazio, that was his name. KG Coatings or something like that. So Gus had Joe come to Crane. I drove up to Crane. I think it was me and Sean Reenock. It might have been Van der Bosch. Those are my two sidekicks.
Two go-to guys. Yeah.
And we spent 2 or 3 days out on the range, and we came up with that color. They called it Flat Dog Earth Pantone color number blah blah blah. I can't remember. And that's one of the reasons why I miss Gus so much, because even right now I could text Gus and say, "Gus, what was that Pantone color number?" And he'd text me right back. Either he had the answer or he could look it up. And so we started calling it Coyote Brown. And if you remember, anything that the weapon systems that they have in the military, whether it's your standard Army, Navy, Marine, Air Force, even Special Ops, those are Army issued standard weapon systems. You cannot paint those weapon systems unless you can return them to what they call 10-20 standards. 10 is the operator level, 20 is the armor or gunsmith level. If you spray painted this rifle in Afghanistan, when you brought it back to the States, you better have a way to get that shit off.
Yep.
Because you were going to go through hell if you couldn't. So Gus went into the system. He said, "Steve, the Mark 12s, because we couldn't put them on the M4s because Colt owns the tech data package, we got some M16A1s up at Crane from the Vietnam War and everything else." He said, "Let's not even use the M4 lower system. Let's use the M16A1. And I was like, "Gus, you fucking genius, man." I mean, Gus Taylor
Nice.
was a genius. He understood how to work the system. So all the Mark 12s that you guys talk about all the time, the Mark 12 Mod O, Mark 12 Mod H, if you notice that they're all Flat Dog Earth. The reason we were able to do that is Gus got us M16A1s, so there was no color maintenance standard on those systems, because when they got them out of storage, they had a little thing in the contract that the end user, the operator, the warfighter can paint these weapons to whatever environmental standard required where they were located. And so that started the Flat Dog Earth program. And so Flat Dog Earth led into the new uniforms.
Yep.
Because remember, before that we had we had, just like you said earlier, chocolate chips.
Yep.
You
And
have
the
no
ACUs.
idea what chocolate chips and ACUs under night vision. You might as well have a neon sign just waving to the enemy saying, "Here I am." And because of Flat Dog Earth, and because of what Gus was able to do for us, and I'm going to go over some other stuff that Gus did for us, we were able to not only come up with our own color, kind of like John Deere has their own color.
What's up, Elmer?
And have a system to where we could camouflage our weapons.
I'm on live stream.
Whether you were in Alaska,
You're that guy.
or in Iraq.
You're that guy that interrupts the live stream.
Yeah, he's
right
that
now.
guy. So when we started doing Flat Dog Earth, I thought it was going to be one of the most difficult programs I had ever done, because the Mark 12 new rifle. I mean, I went through 2-3 years working that program, trying to fight the system. 6.8 SPC, new ammunition. Oh my gosh, I went through 3, 4, 5 years, still going through it. 16 years later, fighting the system. Gus got us authorization for Flat Dog Earth, Coyote Brown, in 3 months. It blew my mind.
Okay, we're sorry about that, guys.
There you go.
Literally, Emery just called in. He had something important he wanted to tell me, and he's that guy that called right in the middle of the live stream. Rob, could you ask Carl or Steve what sharpening stone or sharpening system do they use for their knives? What
So
don't
that's
I
Randy.
use? Yeah, I have
That's a
many.
question for
I actually
Randy.
have a electric one with diamond wheels in my kitchen that I use on my every Monday. I would sharpen my knife while I was making coffee. In the field, what's it called?
Arkansas stone.
No. It's my patrons would know. It's a. Anyways, if one of my patrons can remember what it is, it's a little yellow sharpener with the red wheel on the end that allows you to rotate the ceramic rod. It's got a leather strapping thing. Anyway, it's perfect, weighs nothing, and that's what I keep in my bag. But I don't use it very much. I really don't. I just don't. When it comes to sharpening stuff, if it's big. Hatchets and axes. I'm using. I've got a grinding wheel, not a grinding wheel, a sharpening stone grinder in the workshop. But anything other than that, like chainsaw blades and everything else, I use my Dremel on 'em. I use my Dremel tool. You can't beat a good Dremel for sharpening everything. No, that's not the answer you wanted. Lansky makes great sharpening kits. That's got the little guide to help you maintain your angle, which is important. But once you've mastered your angle, it's easy to just do with a diamond strop. It really is.
There's a company that makes a sharpening system. This system is so good, it uses belts, that I got Rawhide Randy Worst, our other TR partner, our impact tool knife guy. I got Randy one for his birthday about 4 or 5 years ago, and I was thinking, Randy's probably going to say, "Hey, Steve, thanks for the birthday present," and probably put it on the shelf and never use it.
Yeah.
I guess about 2 weeks later, I was talking to him about something else. He's like, "Stever," I go, "What's up, Randy? Man, that thing you got me." I go, "Randy, I've got you a lot of things." He goes, "The knife sharp thing,
The
He goes,
Speedy Sharp.
Yeah. He said, "I love this thing.
Yeah,
I love this
He
thing."
loves his Speedy Sharp.
You're probably saying, "Well, Steve, tell us the name of this thing." Well, I can't remember. I can picture it right now. It's got a handle, and the cord comes off of it, and it's got this belt system in it. It's a pulley system in this belt.
Oh, I don't know.
And it starts off with 800 grit, 400 grit, and something else. But it is the best knife sharpener system I have come up with in years.
We got one, guys. I went on Instagram and I reached out to Frigel Clark, American Gun Chick, and asked her, hey, can you double check the email for Heraclitus Select Bourbon? So she just threw down a super chat. Pre-orders for Tactical Rifleman's Heraclitus Select Barrel Strength Bourbon is live at Heraclitus Select under the Bourbon tab. So go to Heraclitus Select. All right, and what you're talking about is this right here, guys. All right, now this is they custom made this bottle for me, but they specifically call this barrel strength, and this is my test bottle they sent me. It is 119 proof. They sent this to me so I could actually try it out, and so I wouldn't be saying, hey, that this is just cheap bourbon to just make quick money off of. Not the case at all. It is good stuff though, guys. All you gotta do is just touch it to your tongue. Touch it. Put it over ice, because when the ice melts, it'll thin it a little bit and you'll be able to taste some fine flavors. But I want to thank you for doing. I'm gonna go to Instagram real quick. And I'm going to go back to, I asked her, why did she send me this little bottle? Because I thought obviously they're going to be bigger bottles. And she said, that was just meant for you to give it a try so that you know it's not garbage or bad bourbon. It is a little stronger than you are used to, but the connoisseurs who drink bourbon at this level and proof will know it is not cheaply made or watered down bourbons. It's a little younger than some, but it is still quality that we are proud of and not some cheap, crappy whiskey that was a money grab. And all I did was I replied back, agreed. It's good stuff, guys. So, anyways, if you weren't here a couple weeks ago, everybody knows Heraclitus, right? He was the philosopher, and he's famous for a bunch of quotes, but one of his quotes is, it's called the 100-man quote, and he said regarding every 100 men sent to battle, that out of every 100 men, 10 shouldn't even be there, 80 are just targets, 9 are the real fighters, and we're lucky to have them, for they make the battle. But the one is a warrior, and he will bring back the others. So their thing is Heraclitus bourbon is for drinking. Here's to the 9s and the 1s. Here's to the warriors and those war fighters. So it's kind of cool, right? And if you think about it, that holds true corporate America everywhere. So anyways, they decided they were going to take one of their barrels and do it just for tactical riflemen. They did it with a couple of their other buddies also, but they did one whole barrel just for us. I've already bought the barrel. Let me rephrase that. I haven't PayPal'd yet, but they know I'm good for it. I'm getting the empty barrel, and we'll have it all engraved and everything. We'll put it up in the man room or something. But all of the bottles, and you guys, it's limited to pre-order 2 bottles per guy, bottles of bourbon, per guy, per gal. And but they're all from our barrel, all right? And then I get the empty barrel. I'm buying the empty barrel, so I've got it, all right? So anyways, it's good stuff. It's 5-year-old Kentucky bourbon, guys. Good stuff, all right? Good stuff indeed. And again, that's HeraclitusBourbon.com. You go there, and they tried to set me up an email that you guys could go do orders through. I've got to have them fix that, because apparently some of you are saying you went to the email, sent emails, and it didn't go through for whatever reason. I apologize for that. But HeraclitusBourbon.com. Donate, if you could put that spelt correctly in the chat room, I would appreciate it. Yeah, sincerely, I would really, really, really appreciate it. I thought that was nice of them to do that. Right, so, yeah. Good stuff indeed. All right. Just had another one come in from Philip Wilson, 5 Bones. I went to ATS to buy the full TR belt system, but I could only find a belt. What am I doing wrong? All right. I don't think they've added it yet. They've been busy. They got a bunch of, and I know everybody thinks we're not at war right now, but ATS Tactical Gear got a special big order come in for a special mission unit, and they're working on that. They've got to get caught up on their website, but basically we've decided on it, and I'm not blowing you off, Phil. I'm not, because you know I love you. I got Dane Bramage, guys. If I don't email myself, I won't remember. Carl Erickson, ATS belt, send. All right, I literally just emailed myself, and I've got 12 more emails flagged for tomorrow. You understand, I had 47 emails flagged for follow-up. I burnt through a lot in the last couple of days. I've got 12 more to go. Yours will make 13, but hopefully tomorrow or the next day I will reach out to ATS Tactical Gear. And hey Steve, come smell that, man. Come get on the screen with me. All right.
Something just came to mind when I was doing this.
Okay.
You mentioned Mark 211 earlier, Rolfus.
Rolfus, you mentioned it, but I chimed in because I love me some Rolfus. Mod Zero, yeah.
I had never ever heard of Rolfus Mark 211. In Desert Storm, in that time period, I was the master trainer for fifth school,
Yep.
master sniper trainer. We had a master sniper program. You had like the master trainer Halo, master trainer scuba, master trainer sniper. That was me. So I'm out training with the Kuwaitis and the Egyptians out on the sniper range outside of King Khalid military city in Saudi Arabia. And this guy pulls up in a Humvee. He's coming from battalion. He goes, "Who's Sergeant Holland? Who's Sergeant Holland?" They said, "That's him over there talking to those guys at the bottom of the tower." So this specialist comes right over to me. He says, "Sergeant Holland, we need you back at the command." I go, "For what, specialist?" He goes, "You got a level 5A action message that came in from SOC Center. You need to go answer." I got a what? Now you guys got to remember, this is not the day and age of, we didn't have GPS back then. We didn't have cell phones, none of that stuff. So communications were like up here at the big guys level, not down here at the team level. So I said, okay, now we're to my team sergeant and team leader said, "Hey, guy from battalion needs me to come up there. I got some action message, blah blah blah." So I go back to battalion and say, "Hey, go in the comms van, the skiff, the mobile skiff." I go in there. He goes, "Hey, this is for you." I started reading it. Message 2, Sergeant Holland, Master Sniper, blah blah blah. Waiting for your message back to us. As soon as the message arrives, we will deploy into the Saudi Arabia Peninsula, blah, 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 to bring you all of the upgraded sniper gear, 50 cal night sights, everything else. Signed, Major Taylor, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, who the fuck is Major Taylor? And so I was like, new sniper gear, new sniper gear.
Sure.
Yeah. So when the guy told me, this is joke with me and Gus all these years since 1991. He goes, "You got a level 4A action message from a Major Luscious Taylor." And I was like, "Is she a female?" I mean, it could be a female major.
It could be a female major.
So when he and his RDT&E team got in the country, and
this is the first time you met Gus.
yeah, the first time I met Gus. So they fly in about 2 weeks later. We meet him at the airport there at KKMC. They get off and they got all these Pelican cases and all this other stuff. And we walk out there and he's like, I salute him, Major Taylor, Sergeant First Class Steve Holland, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. He goes, "Sergeant Holland, blah, 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 blah." And so when everybody starts walking off, and I kind of look at him and go, "Major Taylor," he goes, "Yeah." I go, "What the fuck is this about?" I've been asking these messages to you for 2 months. I don't even know you. Per my request. I've never requested anything. I don't even know who you are. He goes, "Check this out, brother."
He did all this. He wanted to get his ass in the box.
He wanted to get in the fight.
Yeah. Okay.
So he says, "Come with me." We walked over to the little push cart. They got all the Pelican cases and stuff.
Yeah.
He pops open one of the cases. There's an M82 Barrett sitting in there. I go,
New.
"Major Taylor, how you doing, brother? Glad to meet you. Welcome to the Saudi Arabia peninsula." Blah 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 blah. So for the next 3 or 4 weeks, we started training. He had the Barrett M82s. He had, first time I ever seen an Accuracy International.
Okay.
And he had Simrad night sights.
Ooh.
That was the first time I'd ever seen a Simrad, and the concept was so simple. It made so much sense, because the night vision sight, a Simrad, unlike what we use today, all your night sights, you're looking through the sight using the night vision tube, blah 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 blah, straight through. The Simrad set on top of your day optic, gathered all the light and sent a prism down.
Big ass objective lens.
So you had like, let's say on most day optics, you got a big one would be like a 50, 55 millimeter, 60 millimeter objective. The Simrad had like a 200 millimeter
monster
objective to suck in all the light. Then it had a channel and a prism that set in front of your objective lens and set all that light down your scope. And it was amazing, state of the art. And Gus bought all this stuff. I mean, he had all kinds of crazy stuff. And he goes, check this out. He opens up this ammo can, and I look at it and I said, those are 50 cal rounds. I said, but they're marked different. I've never seen anything. They were green and silver. He said, that's called the Mark II 11 Rolfus. I go, okay. He said, I explain it to you when we go to the range. So we get out to the range, I guess about 2 days later, and they set up a couple of cinder blocks out at about 300 yards. And he load the Barrett up, boom, we shoot the Barrett, hit the cinder block, the crack. We had cinder blocks with, I forget what it was, 5-gallon cans of diesel gas and gas, something like that. Shoot it with the standard 50 cal, block cracks, gas splashes everywhere, blah, 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 the whole thing. Puts in a Mark II 11, shoots the next target, boom, flame, fire, and everything else. I was like, Major Taylor, my man.
Rolfus rounds, they were $77 a round in 2000. That would have been 2003. My supply guy told me that they were $77 a round. They're like $150 a round now, but where regular 50 cal round is $3 for the Army pays $3 a round. The Army was paying $77 per bullet, and but they've got it's got a little steel core in it, hardened core for penetrating. It's considered an armor-piercing round, but it's considered an armor-piercing incendiary
round.
But it's not. And I love API. There's cases of API under the pool table, all right? But those are only $10 a round. That's regular D-length Modus API. It's got a little bit of incendiary powder in it. It's got your core for going through things. Okay, it's the same. It's called API, Rolfus API, but it's not like Army API. It's also got Petton explosive in it. Petton explosive in it. P-E-N-T. Petton. I'm sorry. P-E-T-N. Petton frickin' explosive in a 50 cal round, a little 50 cal round. And so even if you miss, you understand your spotter doesn't need to see trace, because even if you miss, it don't matter if you hit a grain of sand, a blade of grass, the side of a building, you're getting an explosion. So you're chasing a Bedouin pickup truck with this thing, and that's the advantage of the Barrett, is it's semi-auto. Boom, 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 and you're little explosion, back of the truck, little explosion on the bed of the truck, little explosion on the back door, little explosion on the front door, little explosion on the hood, little explosion on the hood, little explosion on the hood, ka-chunk, you're empty. Put the next mag in, let the truck roll to a stop, put the next mag right into the cab of the vehicle. It's great ammo, worth every dollar of taxpayers' money, without a doubt. I'd go shoot a whole can of that stuff, dude. Come back all punch drunk and shit. Come back, because it's 100 rounds to a can. I'd come back in, bloody nose, and everything. I'd just tell the supply guy, Matt Parnell, I'm like, hey, I need another can of Rolfus. He's like, all right, Carl. All right. He's like, but, hey, what'd he say? He said, I got 13 more cans for you. He's like, but I just want you to see, come here for a second. And we went in a little ammo tent. This is in Djibouti, Africa. And he showed me, he had his computer up with the Dodix there. He said, I just want you to see what the taxpayers are paying. And he pointed at the screen, and it was $77. I'm like, a can? He went, that's a round. A round. And I was like, so? I'm not paying it. I don't care. Thank you, taxpayers, by the way, guys. Thank you, taxpayers. I owe you.
Well, when Gus Taylor came to the country, I don't know how he did it. And that was Gus's art. You just tell Gus what you need, and you don't tell him how to execute his mission. I guess that's why a lot of his close friends, they call him the Wizard. I just call him Mug. Hey Mug, I need this, I need that. But when he came in country, I think he had 15 cans of Ruffles. And this is when
That's
Ruffles
a lot of
was,
Ruffles.
nobody knew what
Nobody
Ruffles
knew
was,
what Ruffles was,
except the
yeah.
Europeans. And I tell you what, when you hit a guy at 700 meters through the windshield of a Toyota pickup truck who's hauling ass after he just blew up some Kuwaiti
Yeah.
fence line trying to get his friends through, you hit him through the windshield. You get to go into the bed of the truck through the back doggone axle to try to find out what was left.
Yeah, it makes
That's how
good ammo, guys.
you know,
Good ammo.
because shooting it on the range is one thing, and I told Gus, I said, hey, we're going to be up here on this sector. They call it the three country triangle, whatever it was. Iraq,
Yeah.
Kuwait, Saudi Arabia,
Yep.
and these guys were trying to lay mines, and this one guy was trying to run, and he was hauling ass, and they were shooting, and he was still hauling ass. I was like, let's try that Ruffle stuff, you know, Ruffle stuff in there. Barrett. I said, wait. As soon as he come out that turn, make that turn. Ah, there we go. On the way. And all of a sudden the truck just started through the desert. And I was thinking, you know, because I'm so stuck on conventional stuff.
Yeah.
You know, when they got over there, we got everything, you know, EOD and all that other stuff. And I said, hey, let's go check out this truck driver thing. I was like, damn, it went through the windshield, through him, through the seat, through the back firewall, through the bed of the truck,
That's
down
awesome.
past the transmission. You know, I mean, it was crazy. But that was my first time ever, you know, actually visibly seeing, you know, a Ruffles round. Is when
Very, very cool. We had a couple more come in. Philip Wilson through by FYI.
Philip.
You know,
Brother.
I have a list of shit to buy for sure, no doubt. Guys, on that note, so do I. I will say, if you guys can find real Rofus ammo, because there's a bunch of rednecks out there, they're businessmen, entrepreneurs that are taking regular Barrett, regular 50 cal ammo and painting them silver and green and selling it as Rofus.
Really?
Yes.
You kidding me, man?
Not kidding you. But if you can find real Rofus rounds, please let me know, because I need about 50 rounds more.
If you're buying Ruffles rounds, just to make sure they're not fake, check the head stamp on the cartridge. That'll tell you versus, you know, I mean, if somebody came up to me and said, hey man, I got some Ruffles rounds, blah, blah. First thing I would have done, I saw green and silver, I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's a real thing. I would have paid for it.
Yeah.
But now the callers mentioned it. Now you have to check the head stamp.
Yeah. The reason why it's called Rofus, guys, is it's made by, is it Denmark?
Belgium, I think.
Belgium. It's made in a town called Rofus, Belgium, and they are a big ammo manufacturer for, like, the what was that movie, Battleship? I think it was called Battleship. And
with
you
the
look
space
at
aliens-
the
space aliens?
space alien. But that is a good movie showing the close-up of a
Barrett.
modern destroyer, and that semi-auto cannon on the deck of that destroyer, and the semi-automatic cannon that's on most of our military ships now. Those rounds are made in Rofus, Belgium. This company makes some really high-tech ammo. So, like, if there's a rowboat out there, they'll aim at the rowboat, and then the gun automatically super elevates. The round goes, and as soon as it gets right above the boat, it explodes and blows shrapnel down into the boat. So it doesn't matter if they've got armored sides on it. It blows down, and that's you understand, that is a cannon shell. It's not a missile, and it's spinning like this. It's just got a proximity radar in the head of it. How can you fit all that in a shell? You understand, that's why that factory on the planet makes specialty ammo like that. I actually heard they're going to start making basically Rofus equivalent for the 338 Norma.
Really?
That's a smaller payload.
Payload, yeah.
It would be much smaller, but I would love to see that, because that was my biggest thing when I heard they were going to be replacing the Barretts with the bolt action gun with the 338 Norma. I'm like, okay, I understand for barrier penetration, it's a good round. The 338 Norma machine gun is going to do okay, but I love me some Ralphus.
Yeah.
Ralphus and the semi-auto Barrett.
Yeah, but think about it, Carl. Everyone listening right now, I was like, man, I would love to have some Ralphus ammo, but I don't own a Barrett 50 cal. I don't own a Barrett 50 cal. I don't own.
He knows where he can borrow one though. He does.
I don't own any kind of 50 cal, much less a Barrett. But if they're going to make a Ralphus type round for, I actually don't own a 338 Norma, but it'd be nice knowing that if you have like a 300 Win Mag or, you know, a 338 Lapua, that you can actually get that type ammo. Because any projectile that's going to work on a 338 Norma is going to work on a 338 Lapua.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Gus's son and daughter that are in the chat room. You know, my condolences to the entire world, because they lost a great American. But yeah, my heart is broken for your loss, and Gus's son and daughter in the chat room.
Well, my love to you, Luke, Pete, Jackie. I haven't seen Luke in years. We talked earlier, but your dad. I mean, I cannot even explain what he's done for the warfighter. When Gus finished, Gus was the commander of Charlie 37.
Yeah.
That in itself.
Didn't he get? There's a story behind him staying too long down. We won't do it in front of his. We're not going to go through that one. He was a good Green Beret. He was a good Green Beret.
Put it this way. The company commander of a special forces company, which has 6 A teams, who have each team has a team leader who's a captain, 6 teams, 6 captains, and then the commander of that company is a major.
Yeah.
Gus got promoted to lieutenant colonel and was still in command of Charlie 37. And they said, Lieutenant Colonel Taylor, did you not receive your orders to cease and desist and bring your ass back to the United States? So
that's funny stuff.
So anyway,
somebody's saying they found 5 office rounds for $450.
5?
5.
I'm hoping that's going to go in your collection or museum or something, because no way. But I want to say, God bless you guys, your family. I know what you're going through. I know what you're going through, and from the moment I was told, because me and Gus would text back.
Yeah.
I mean, almost every week, and just stuff. And the last couple of days, I kept having to remind myself. I said, you know what? I'm gonna ask Gus about this, and I realized I can't ask Gus.
Yeah, ask Gus about it.
But for all you guys, TR Nation, all you guys that are aware of the SOCMOD program, Block 1, Block 2, Gus was the captain of the ship. And that's why the SOCMOD program, for all the Army Special Forces, the Army Rangers, the Navy SEALs, Air Force, what's this? Air Force, what do you call them now? Marine Corps, MARSOC. All that program.
AFSOC and MARSOC.
Which started in the early 90s. I think 95, 96 we started it. That's how successful that program is. Let's say 95. Here it is, 2024. And that program is still the keystone program in all the war fighters' tactical needs, combat needs. SOCMOD is all about bringing the fight to the enemy. All these other programs, whatever they talk about on TV and Congress, all that, what impacts the enemy and what brings soldiers home alive. And your dad has been instrumental in that. I mean, the last 4 or 5 years, Gus was he took the Ukraine version of a mobile force mod unit,
yeah,
and 2 or 3 trailers, and took it over to Afghanistan and Iraq. He wasn't a sit down and just say, hey, you know, I did a great job, you know, as a lieutenant colonel, then as a GS-15, I did a great job. No, Gus didn't sit on his laurels. Gus was like, I'm getting in the fight. I'm getting in the fight.
All right, guys. I've got a little bit of time left, but not a lot of bit of time left. So you guys got questions you want to ask either me or Steve, put them in the chat real quick. I want to remind you guys again, for those of you that just showed up late, I've got a few slots left for our late July low light, no light shooting course. Basically pistol and carbine. We start off, we do a little bit of flashlight work, weapon mounted lights, pistol and rifle. But it's a 2-day course. Right after lunch, we start doing night vision. Steve helped me teach the last one, Louisville Armory. It's late July. I just picked up the PVS 14s. They're all brand new. And that's the cool part about the course. If you want to, at the end of the course, you say, hey, you know, I've been wanting to buy night vision, but that's a big jump. It's a lot of money. You want to play with them before you buy them. These things are brand new, made by AGM Global Vision they're out of Arizona. Good tubes. They're Gen 2 Plus. Ghost white phosphor tubes, and complete kits, head harnesses, green bag, the little throw arm mount, so you can switch from one eye to the other. If you want to get binos, you let me know ahead of time. I can have them there waiting for you, but you got to buy them. But here's the cool part: if at the end of the course you don't want to buy them, no harm, no foul. You give them back to me, I put them back in the bag, and I send them back to them. AGM Global Vision's good with it. Last year we sold, I think I ended up sending back one set. But anyways, I've got a few slots left. Night vision goggles, I've already picked them up, and they are brand new, and they are nice, guys. They are really nice tubes. So anyways, we cover all the different types of night vision, digital night vision, thermals, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3s, Gen 3 Pluses. We talk about the advantages and disadvantages of running night vision over one eye versus the other eye when shooting a pistol or when shooting a rifle. We'll have the aiming lasers there for you guys to have mounted on your guns, on your rifles for shooting. And you'll see there's a lot more to shooting with night vision than just mounting the stuff on your guns and buying them. You've got to, because you understand, you're looking through a toilet paper tube, you know, so where you're used to turn your eyes, right? Turn your eyes first and then move your gun. You can't turn your eyes when you're wearing night vision. Unless you're wearing quads, you can't do it. You've got to learn to turn your head and then bring your gun to it. But that's you've got to learn different. So we get into you reading maps and reading the student handouts and doing things there. It's a good time. And the cool part is the second half of day 2, we rotate guys through. There's a small shootout there, and I provide the UTM bolts, the UTM ammo. You just pay me for the ammo you use. And I know a lot of people, right now, the ATF has made it illegal for UTM to sell ammo and conversion kits to civilians. Doesn't matter. They're not selling it to you. You're basically using mine, and you're just buying my ammo. So you're completely legal to use it. It is better than running airsoft or anything like that. You're going to be using your guns with your night vision in the shoot house. And we've got a bunch of great shooting drills and everything for the guys to do. And anyways, it's one of our most educational courses. If you don't have a lot of experience with night vision, you're going to find you're going to get a lot out of the course. But anyways, I got a few slots left. You want to sign up for it, you can go to tacticalrifleman.com. Again, that's late July. I want to say it's my birthday, somewhere around the 25th of July. And it's a 2-day long course at the Louisville Armory. And like I said, if you want to buy the night vision at the end, cool, no pressure, you don't have to do it. Because I got a bunch of other guys that want to buy these nods for the price. that I've got them. So, and
So, and for any of you guys, just going back a little bit, who are interested in hearing about the SOCMOD program, the Great American, Lieutenant Colonel retired Lucius Gus Mug Taylor. He was on our show with the Ronnie Barrett show.
that's him right there.
That's Gus right there. You look at the link. It's the 17 June 2022. Go on YouTube, pull that up, and Gus comes in at 43 minutes and 33 seconds. I actually did it to surprise Ronnie Barrett because it was a show for Ronnie Barrett, and Gus and Ronnie Barrett have so much great history together. They actually used to be treasure hunters together. We don't have time. I can't go into a lot of this stuff, but go to that link and open it up. Go to 43 minutes, and you get a chance to listen to Gus. And I'm so thankful that he decided to come down because he had to drive down from Indiana to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I said, Gus, we're going to have Ronnie on the show. You know, both you guys are getting old. Like, we're not getting old, right? And Gus said, Steve, I'll be there. And when he showed up, Ronnie, you see it on the video, Ronnie Barrett was so surprised. Ronnie was like, oh my gosh, it's Gus, you know?
I just got a question from Kelsey Dotson that says, will there be any Gen 3 tubes? Right now, the ones that I went, because I can get anything from AGM Global Vision. They have Gen 3 tubes. They've got Ghost White Phosphor. They've got auto gated, non-auto gated. They offer everything. All right. What I did was I picked they've got a Gen 2 Plus where it's basically, I'm not allowed to say it on the internet.
Say it.
So the French wanted to get in the market and sell Gen 3 tubes. ITARs, they can't do it. ITARs restrictions. So they basically went back, peeled all the stickers off, remarked them all Gen 2 Plus, and sent them all to the States. So that's where AGM Global Vision got a bunch of their tubes. Some of their tubes, not all of them. Anyways, it's a long story, but that's the kind of, they're very, very good tubes. We had the same thing last year, Kelsey. If there was a guy that wanted a Gen 3 auto-gated Ghost White Phosphor, you go to AGM Global Vision, you pick anything you want at their website, all right? I look at the price and shoot me an email, tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com. Shoot me an email, say, hey, Carl, I want to come to your course, but this is the Gen 3, give me the actual part number, what you want. And what I'll do is I will contact, I'll pull it up on my price sheet, and I'll let you know what I can get it for. And but here's the deal. If I'm going to special order that one for you, that means one of these nine or however many I've got down here doesn't have a student to go to. So you have to promise me you're going to buy it. I'll get it for you. You'll get it for my price, all right? And I guarantee you it'll be below what's on the website. Because you understand, guys, when a company makes something, they've got different dealer pricing, right? And what they do is they have the manufacturer's recommended price, MSRP, right? And that's what you'll see on the websites. But certain companies want to be able to say, we guarantee you we sell it cheaper than anybody else. We guarantee you. So companies like Optics Planet or Amazon, they go to these companies and they want to increase their profit margin. So they say, all right, you normally sell something for $100, right? And then these other companies resell it for $110. We want it for $80, but we're going to buy, instead of buying 5 of them, we're going to buy 500 of them. And so certain companies, Optics Planet, places like that, get a better deal. That best case deal is called the level D dealer discount. Most gun, let's say you got a gun store and you want to carry AGM Global Vision, Night Vision, you would be a level A. If you bought a bunch, maybe level B. Bigger companies, Bass Pro Shop, somewhere like that, they might get a level C discount, but only the big guys are getting level D pricing. I get the spreadsheet with everybody's pricing, and these guys are nice guys. They're like, Carl, we like what you're doing. You're teaching people to actually use night vision. And their thing is, everybody should own a PVS 14, but after that, people are going to want to come back and buy binos or thermals or this or that or another set or a bridge. So we're educating the world, making the world a better place. So they're giving me these things at the best price that they can. They're not going to lose any money. I'm not going to lose any money off of it. But and understand, I've got to charge you tax, but that's that's Kentucky tax. But again, if you're interested in something specific for this course, like last time I had somebody that wanted a set of binos. He wanted Gen 3 binos. Okay, pick out the exact part number you want from their website. I'll let you know what I can get it for. And he was like, hell yeah, I'll be there. When he saw what the price was. Again, guys, send me, if you're interested, sign up tacticalrifleman.com. I'm getting ready to send that email out to everybody. So if you've already signed up, like Tony Dotson's already signed up. He took it last year, guys. He's coming back again to take it. Again, that's how good the course is. I will be sending out the email with those specifics, what the prices are, all that stuff. But if you sign up here before then, just sign up ahead of time. I'll get you the latest info. If you want to know the pricing of the nods, I can't say it on the open internet because those companies like Euro Optics, Optics Planet, they are guaranteed that they get the lowest prices. And I can't underbid them openly on the internet. So, but I will gladly send it to you in a private email. All right, I will do that for you guys. All right, that's that question. Guys, we're going to wrap this up here. Tactical Gristle threw down $1.99. Happy Juneteenth to you and Steve. I'm not really sure Juneteenth is a holiday. I understand it's a holiday, but it's... I understand everybody wanted something to call their own. My whole thing, guys, is that's like saying the Black national anthem. We don't have a Black nation. We've got a smelting pot of every
melting,
whatever you say.
Melting pot.
No, it's not a melting pot. It's a smelting pot. We smelt everything together.
Smelt of fish.
Yeah. No, your crotch smells of fish, but not mine. All right. We have every race, color, creed under the sun comes to America. You've got Irish here. You've got Brits here. You understand? You literally have everyone here, and that's what makes America awesome. So when I see people saying, well, we need to have our own Black national anthem, I just, to me, you're just somebody just trying to drive a wedge between us, and you're trying to create more problems. And instead, you should be hugging the American flag.
It's called being divisive.
Yeah, and we don't need to be divisive. So he meant it the best of ways. He wished you and me a happy Juneteenth, yeah, which it's your holiday, Steve, because Steve's as green as I am. Me and Steve are green.
All holidays are everyone's holidays.
Everybody's holiday.
One thing that I don't agree with is we have a Veterans Day, okay? And Gus Taylor, he was one of our veterans, one of our great veterans. So why does Gus get a Veterans Day and this whole LGBT, IFGQTZA community gets a whole fucking month? Okay? Oh, it's Pride Month, but it's Veterans Day. what have you priders done for this country to earn a whole month versus veterans like Gus Taylor, who's given his all?
You hear that up there? That's my wife reminding us that we're not supposed to be doing politics.
This is not politics. You got, Pride Month and Veterans Day. We need to flip that script.
And guys, going on what Steve's saying, you understand that this used to be Male Mental Health Awareness Month, and that's because the suicide rate for males and the rate of depression for males in not just the U.S. but the world is very, very high, and it was a month to draw attention to. But some politician decided people committing suicide is not, let alone all the vets out there.
You know why
rate.
The male mental health rate was so high and so bad?
Why, Steve?
Because they're not letting us go down range. You let us go down range for a couple of months, okay? And we get on that 2-door range and start trading traces with some other people and sort it out. Let us sort it out. My mental health will be fine when I come back. When I get off that plane, I'll be, woo! Had a good time. Had a good time. All my office is depleted.
Coach Merck is in the chat. Coach, how you doing? Carl and Steve, do you offer training for individuals with medical disabilities? Excellent question. And that actually comes up a lot. People will say, Carl, I want to take your pistol carbine class, but I just had a hip replacement. I'm going to be in a wheelchair, or I'm paralyzed from the waist down. We have had 95, no, he was 92. We've had 92-year-old guys take classes with us. We have had 500-pound guys take classes. By the way, the 92-year-old guy performed better than the 500-pound guy. I've had guys in wheelchairs. I had a guy show up to a class and say, I'm just going to sit and watch. And I'm like, dude, we went and got him a wheelchair because we happened to have one in the shoothouse. He outshot all his buddies in the shoothouse. It was like the guy was rolling around on wheels. Man, stable platform. We had one of the other assistant instructors wheel him through the shoothouse. So my reason for saying that is, and if you have reach out to us, tacticalrifleman.com, tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com, gmail.com, and let me know what your disability is. You don't have to put it in the chat room here, because there are certain disabilities that would hold up the class. Now, that said, Justin, if you're in the chat room, you can attest to this. Guys, Justin can't talk. Justin can't walk. All right? But Justin is like above Einstein level, genius level. He just has bad physical impairments. I ran a private class for him, and we had a blast. We literally, that's the reason why my reloading press is not bolted down right there. It's bolted on a sheet of plywood. He wanted to do precision rifle, but he wanted to learn all of it. I took him through hand loading the ammo, through taking it out, customizing it to the gun, zeroing it, gathering data, all of it. We covered all of it. Understand private training costs a lot more, all right? But honestly, most people can, most of our classes are geared for everybody to participate. So if you're a little slower than the people to your left and right, understand our classes are not pass or fail. You don't have to outshoot the retired Marine to your left. You don't have to outshoot the active duty Green Beret or the active duty cop that are on the firing lines with you. The idea is for you to come to the class with an open mind, soak up the information that we have, and then when you leave the course, you leave better educated, and you leave with the drills and the knowledge, so you then can go back to your own range and get the reps in. So Coach, you could easily pass any of our courses, Coach. You're good people, but if you're asking on somebody else's behalf, please let them know me, Steve, Randy, Emery, I've got great instructors that will work with anybody's physical or mental disabilities. So long as a parent tells me that their child is mature enough to soak up the information being put out. I have had parents bring young children to like a high-risk travel course, 13, 14-year-olds. And understand we get deep into the learning to be situationally aware and surveillance detection and for a 13 and 14-year-old to be there getting out of handcuffs and doing all that, that's some pretty intense stuff for them. Some good stuff indeed.
But Coach, that doesn't mean that if this is for you, that we're going to cut you any slack. All right?
That
be a
was
slacker.
That was Craddock.
Ray
Ray Craddock. That's Tactical
Ray.
Gristle. I was just trolling you on Juneteenth. I like to stir the pot since I'm retired like you guys. Ray just got retired from Border Patrol.
I know he's been keeping me up to date.
Work sharp, guys.
Yeah.
Earlier, you guys were asking about my knife sharpener that I keep in my bag of woe and I use in the field. It's actually called a workshop. You can get them at Bass Pro Shop.
That's what I have. That's what I have.
You can get it at Bass Pro Shop. You can get them at Cabela's. I don't know if you could get it at Walmart, but I buy mine off of Amazon.
Yeah. But even the little small land skis, the one that looks like a circular thing and it's got the ceramic and it's got the tungsten steel. I keep one of those in my bag. You got a home sharpener, but when you're out running training or, you're out amongst the them people, you got to keep your shit sharp,
Yes, you do. Guys, I have mastered, anytime somebody comes out with a new type of knife sharpener, I like to master the technique to use it. One that I actually learned from a guy, you guys know ceramic rods, right? Ceramic rods work real good. If you don't have anything else and you need to touch up the edge on your knife, pull out that knife, roll the window down on your car halfway, and you can use the rough edge of the glass. That's a ceramic rod is basically what it is. Glass is the same hardness as ceramic, and you can go down the edge with your knife blade. You take that piece of glass like this, the window, and you're using it as a ceramic rod. But again, you got to know your angle. Again, that's field expedient. But I'm not joking, guys. I have what's called the Chef's Choice. It is a electric sharpener. It's made for chef's butcher knives in the kitchen for carving your steaks and your blocks of beef and your turkeys and everything. And I just got in a habit probably 20 years ago of every Monday while I'm making my coffee to go get in the Suburban to drive to Fort Campbell. Every Monday I would sharpen my knife. On diamond wheels, it only takes a couple runs on each side. And if you get in the habit of sharpening your knife methodically not just, man, this what's the term you use, the medical term for a knife? This bitch is so dull, it won't cut nothing. Don't wait to that, because when you pull out a knife and you need a sharp knife and it's dull, you understand you just failed. I'm not big on failing, guys, so keep your kit. If you're gonna, Rogers Rangers, the standing orders for Rogers Rangers, and there's standing orders for Rogers Ranger. And guys, those go back all the way to the French and Indian War. The original Rangers were Rogers Rangers. Go look up his standing orders. My patrons actually did I actually did a post on Patreon about it. But one of them is keep your powder dry, keep your tomahawk and your knife scoured, razor sharp. And sincerely, that right there is made by Phobos Knives. That was what was on my leg when I did the jump into Normandy.
Okay.
And that my jump master knife that he's playing with. You guys know I had Eric Hansen from the founder and president of Phobos Knives. He was on he was on 2 days before I left to go to Normandy, France. I remember Eric. He gave me this and it was I have skinny calves, but it was down, not as skinny as my forearm, but it was on my leg. It was in all the pictures. Funny part, Steve, is I didn't take it off my leg. We put a parachute in the back of the truck, but then we went out drinking. We went down to St. Mary Glees, the quad there, with the church with the parachute with the mannequin hanging.
Yeah.
Well, there's 10,000 paratroopers there, and French, and everybody's getting drunk. We had German soldiers there, we had French soldiers there, we had Swedes, we had Dutch, we had Italians, we had Brits, we had everybody. 82nd Airborne was there, 173rd, Rangers, SF guys, everybody's there. I'm still in my World War II pants, got my Jumpmaster hat on, my Jumpmaster t-shirt, but I still had that on my boot. And I'm walking around, and these, the Polizei, the French cops are looking down at they're looking down at them, and they're staring. They look up at me, they look down at it, they look up at me, and they just kind of smile. They're like, he's a fucking American, let him do what he wants. Excuse my language, guys, but that's what they said. Actually, they said, this silly American, he thinks that he is John Wayne.
Yeah. You say he can stop us with a knife. A side note on knives and paratroopers. When I was and who is our patron that always every time I bring up Gallant Eagle 82, the one that's crippled.
Robin.
Robin.
You talking about Robin?
Gallant Eagle 1982 was the biggest airborne operation ever. Bigger than D-Day for World War II. I don't know why some general wanted to do it, but they were going to do it. They were going to drop 2,500 paratroopers. And they did. Into about 55-mile-an-hour winds. And Robin can tell you, because that was her cherry jump.
Cherry jump. First one out of airborne school.
One of the things that they would not allow us to do was you couldn't carry a knife attached to your boot in the 82nd Airborne. But I did anyway.
You out of uniform.
I did anyway. I carried a Gerber Mark II.
Mark II. Mark II was a good knife back in the day. Double edged. I'm not big on double edged, but it was a good knife.
And when I landed into those 55-mile-an-hour winds, first thing I told myself, I saw people on the ground being drugged. I saw Jeeps chasing people being drugged. I was like, that's not good. So I popped my cape wells, and you got your cables, 2-shot pins, hooked my thumbs in. You're not supposed to do that either. I said, as soon as my feet touch the ground, I'm cutting this fucking thing away. 200 meters later, I wake up, and I'm like, you ever been drugged through the desert? I'm talking about rocks, cactus, all those bushes that all got thorns.
Oh, yeah. Funny stuff.
A bush caught my parachute, and it was trying to pull me away. I mean, my head was cut open. Both my kneecaps were hanging out. Half the right side of my ass is gone. If YouTube don't mind, I'll show it to you.
No.
I'll show you what's not there.
Eyes. Don't burn my eyes.
And when that wait a minute bush caught my parachute, I reached down, fell down, I got my knife in my boot, and I crawled up the suspension lines to my canopy and grabbed my canopy, and this thing was blowing. It was trying to get away. I started stabbing that fucking parachute. Stop, deflate. And it finally did. So if I would have followed regulation, you guys wouldn't know me. You wouldn't know me now.
Nope, you
would
not.
I'm laying there, hurt like a mofo, and I see the FLA, the field ambulance, going across the desert, stopping at parachutes. And I'm still laying there. About 45 minutes later, they kind of turn toward me. I'm like, oh, here they come. So they pull up, the guy jumps off. He said, where are you hurt? I said, everywhere. He goes, okay. He starts cutting my clothes off. Now, I've been drugged through the sand. My helmet came off. My hair was split open. I had blood running out of my eyes. He's washing my eyes off. And I look up, and I see him after he washed my eyes out and stuff. I said, Doc. He goes, yeah, man, I'm here, man. I'm here. Doc's here. I said, no, Doc, it's me. It's Steve. it was the medic that had went through Recondo school with me about a year before that.
Yeah.
Recondo school was like a mini ranger school in the 82nd Airborne. So he looks down, he looks at my name tag, he goes, Steve, brother. I go, Doc, man, I'm glad you're here. And he just lost all bedside decorum. He said, Steve, Ricardo, Steve. I go, yeah, Doc, it's me. He goes, man, you fucked up, man. He said, dude, you are torn the fuck. He said, all your shit's hanging everywhere. And I went into shock right there. He said, he told me later on, about 2 months later, I was in, gosh dang it, the hospital at Fort Bragg.
Bamsey. No. Blanchfield. No.
No, this is
Womack.
I was in Womack, face down. They had me face down, right, with my face down, ass up.
Yeah, because
and I would hear all these little female nurses in the background going, it's like, okay, ladies, this is how you repair an ass cheek. You know, the interns. So every class will come through every morning and look at my ass. You know, and I'm laying down, I got a mirror right there, and I can see the little white shoes and the little socks and the skirt. They're like, hee. I was like, I said, hey, you would be giggling like that, and they flipped me over.
All right, guys, on that note,
have a knife in your boot.
Have a knife. All right, guys. Thanks, Steve, for stopping by tonight.
Have a knife.
Right? Isn't it awesome to have stories like that?
And a light. Gotta have a light, too.
And a lighter. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up for tonight. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. I want to thank Venture Surplus for sponsoring us again. You guys know the deal.
Is that the one with that cool bike you got sitting out there?
No, he was talking about one of our upcoming videos we got coming up. We're going to do a video review.
Badass bike, man.
I don't know about badass, but we'll see.
Okay, we'll see.
Venture brings the Army Surplus store to your door.
And next episode, I'm going to tell you guys how I lost Major Gus Taylor.
Oh, shit.
They said, hey, you got an action message. I said, again? Yeah, they want to know where this Major Luscious Taylor is. I said, he left here like 3 weeks ago, going back to the States, back to Tampa, MacDill. He said, well, that's MacDill asking. You know, we'll talk about that on the next episode.
All right, guys, y'all take care and shoot straight.
Coming right there.